Start with a big Fox News alert. Moments ago, we learned a drone strike killed an ISIS-K planner who was believed to be carrying out future attacks, according to the Pentagon. Also tonight, the State Department once again warning Americans at the Kabul airport to leave immediately. The gates are closed.
Last month, Bagram Air Base, which is about 30 miles north of Kabul, plunged into darkness. Nothing like that had ever happened before. Bagram is more than an air base. It's an enormous piece of property. It's the size of a small town. It had a hospital, shops, gyms, 2 runways, rows of hangars and barracks. As of last month, Bagram also had a prison. It held thousands of foreign fighters, including men from ISIS and the Taliban. And then all of a sudden, for the first time in 20 years, the lights went out at Bagram. The locals understood immediately what was going on. Without warning or even a courtesy notification, the U.S. military just left, split in the middle of the night, and turned off the power as they did. Ultimately, the base's new Afghan commander fled too, and so within minutes, looters descended. They found thousands of vehicles at Bagram, hundreds of them armored, as well as a huge cache of weapons and ammunition. Now, the Pentagon didn't seem concerned. Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had explained already that, quote, Bagram is not necessary tactically for what we're going to do in Afghanistan, end quote. That turns out to be a massive miscalculation. That's now clear. The decision to abandon Bagram airfield was in fact idiotic, and it led directly to the killing of 13 American servicemen yesterday. With Bagram abandoned, the evacuation of Afghanistan is being staged from a commercial airport in the capital. And given its location, Kabul's airport is almost impossible to defend. Yet, despite the fact it can't really be defended, it remains the only way for American citizens to get out of the country. As Bill Raggio, the editor of the Long War Journal, put it, abandoning Bagram Air Base, quote, is the perfect example of the generals just saluting and saying, yes, sir, and can do, and not standing up and saying, this is madness, and I can't execute this because I'm putting the lives of Americans at risk, and you need to find someone else to do it. Tragically, no one in authority was brave enough to say that.
America's held hostage, now behind enemy lines, and the timetable is coming fast. That's right, as we are now fast approaching America's last weekend in Afghanistan. 13 of our brave soldiers are dead. They will never return home to their families. More than a dozen others seriously wounded. A total death toll is now more than 170. Over 200 people injured. This is now thousands of our own citizens, our friends, our American family, and yes, American allies remain trapped all across the country, all of them behind enemy lines, all of them hostage to the whim of the terror group known as the Taliban and others. And now it's harder than ever to even get inside Hamid Karzai International Airport, with reports that the Taliban could be in full control of that airport now in a matter of days. Some are predicting as early as this weekend. Maybe the worst part is the death and destruction and carnage and chaos, all easily preventable, so easily preventable. Joe Biden is defiantly locked into his disastrous decision that has rendered us a failure here. Why he has tripled down on this failure is anyone's guess. Why he's abiding by the Taliban's deadline, also a mystery tonight. Why he's not sending in additional troops to rescue every single solitary American behind enemy lines is unforgivable. Why he's so accepting of the idea that Americans will be left behind is beyond anything that any good American that I know of can comprehend. And sadly tonight, that outcome seems inevitable. This was not an intelligence community failure. Joe Biden ignored what are dozens and dozens of warnings on the ground, and they've been given to him now for months, our sources confirming. He ignored his own military advisors. That, too, has been ongoing for months. He ignored the intel community. He ignored the Taliban's clear, you could see the map with the time frame, their rapid advance from April to June to July to August and everywhere in between. And yesterday, well, what did we see? You know, incoherent, mumbling, bumbling, rambling press conference showing the entire world, America's friends and allies, and yeah, hostile regimes and our foes, our enemies alike, that the United States of America has a cognitively weak, frail, and completely out-of-touch president that is clinging to failed policies. This is beyond a national embarrassment. Innocent people will likely die as a result of all of this. More will die. So congratulations, Joe. This is your mission accomplished. Now at least 13 American families will never be the same.